let's quickly kick off and see where we are standing at the moment in regards to Bitcoin. And let me just see, make sure we are recording this. Yes, we are. Okay, what I'm going to do here, Tertius, is to give us quickly just a overall view. Let me just stop my video here for, okay, cool. So I'm going to give all of us quickly a overview of where we stand with Bitcoin. And guys, this is exciting stuff. There is going to be one more drop, and then we're off to the races. And if I say off to the races, in our data, I'm talking about turning $50,000 into a huge amount of money. And I'm not going to reveal everything now, but I want to let you know that you are at the right place at the right time. You are going to look back, guys, I tell you this now, in less than 1 year, and we will revisit this video of today, 13 June 2019, and you will be stunned. You're going to ask yourself, how did I make this profit? And I'm going to reveal 10 coins that we are going to look at. So I'm going to change the model portfolio up a little bit, because we can't, it's kind of like a car. You can't drive your car around or your vehicle around every single month after month without servicing that vehicle. So what I'm looking at is the model portfolio that we have. I'm going to change a little bit, a few things up there. The overall idea of holding the other 3 coins, remember the beginning of the year I said there are 3 coins that you take about $500 or $1,000, as much as you can afford, not more than $1,000, invest that in Walton Coin, AGI or Singularity Net, and what was the other one? And Wax. Yeah. So those 3 coins. Now you need to hold those coins, because in our opinion they are going to jump up with 6,000%. Some of those coins are already up about 100, some are up about 200% already. Just hold them. The idea behind those 3 coins is that we are going to pay off debit, credit cards, your car loan. That is the idea behind them. But now I'm going to give you 10 other coins that are going to be so powerful that you just need to hold them. And I'm going to explain to you what you do with that. You take, for example, 10 or 20% of your portfolio and you move that into these coins and you simply hold and keep them. And I wanted to do that maybe at the end of this webinar, but let me show you what they are. They're not coins that are extraordinary, strange coins. It's very simple, guys. One of them is going to be Bitcoin, with about a 2 to 5% portfolio that you need to add into Bitcoin. We're going to have 15% in Litecoin, a whopping 20% in Ethereum, 2 to 5% in EOS, XRP 10 to 15%. But I need to explain to you what is going to happen with XRP. And you can see here on the bottom, I've got Digibyte in as well there, Bitcoin Cash, Neo, BNB, and then a pool of coins, which I will announce shortly. We look at around about the weekend. There's no time. You don't need to rush into this. If you get it done within the next month, that's fine. The market is not going to go crazy bad in the next month, and it's not going to jump up crazy high in the next month. But within the next 30 days, you need to make sure that you get into this pool of coins. Now, the whole idea behind this is, now obviously, remember on the bottom, we've got AGI, Singularity Net, that one, Wax, and Walton Coin. That is addition. So let me just make sure, and I'll make sure that we post this out correct. Let me just put there and AGI. Okay. Now remember this. What I'm saying here is that you take 10 or 20% of your portfolio and you add that in there. And what you do, you never ever sell that. You keep that and you don't look back at that. With the other 80% of your portfolio, you trade up and down. Now, what I have done is with these coins here, now to help people, I've just helped a lady yesterday who lives in Austin, Texas. Now, what we've done, we've created an account for her on Binance, and we moved all those coins into Binance, because remember, you need to have BNB, which is the Binance coin. And what we've done is we've locked it up in Binance, and now she's trading with the other coins on a exchange called Bitfinex. Okay, so this, what we are going to do here is to hold these coins for about 12 months, and we're going to see, let's say I'm saying 12 months, but let's see what happens by the end of the year. You are going to be stunned what is going to happen here. Now, remember this, Tertius, not all these coins are going to jump up and move at the same time. One of them, for example, is XRP, and I'm going to go into XRP and explain to you what's happening with that. And the other one is Digibyte. And I'm going to explain to you what is happening with Digibyte. They won't move at the same time. And this is why I say you simply lock them up. Now, remember, I'm saying 20% of your portfolio, you may want to use 5%, 10%. Now, we've got the potential here that this can go up at least a minimum of 500% very quickly, all these coins. And you need to be patient a little bit. It's going to take you about 3, 4, 5 months before you see really big gains, but the gains are going to happen. This is a very simple portfolio. It's not any unique coin. You know, I would suggest stay away from these little coins, the coins that have got no market cap and the coins that have got no usability in the world. There are a lot of those bad coins, and you're going to see that many of those coins will not make it. So the best bet is to stick with coins that you know is going to make it. Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS. Many people don't like EOS, and there's a lot of bad news around EOS, but regardless, EOS is making money. Bitcoin Cash, and okay, so I'll post that up at some point, Tertius. Now let's get back to Bitcoin. Now for the new people that came on board here, right at the bottom here, right there on 15 December 2018, the market went upwards into this block AA, it went down into this block BB, and we shot upwards here to CC+. The reason that is CC+ is because this leg here should have been your C block. Okay, and to complete it, you must have here, where my mouse is now, you must have a DD block, this one here. That completes one cycle. And in earlier videos, just for those people who were not here, we said that we are going to come here to exactly where that cross is. See that cross there? That the market will come down here and then shoot back upwards. Now, in effect, the market didn't really come down, but the market actually went a little bit sideways. So if you take that block, you can see that that block actually went sideways. You can probably argue and say that that was your D, and then we started with the AA again. Regardless, just to move out a little bit of confusion, for the purposes of this video, I'm just making it AA, BB, CC+, and DD. That, guys, completes one cycle. And as I said last week, and let me just do this again. Sorry for those guys who have seen this again, but I'm just going to give you this idea. That actually is one cycle and a big cycle. Now you can now imagine, remember here, I'm saying here that the new cycle is going to begin again. We have now dropped into this box here, DD. When we head up into this next box here, because Bitcoin is still going up now. I know there's a lot of people in the world and they're calling for Bitcoin to drop. Okay, but with our new evidence, new data that we have now reviewed, we believe that Bitcoin is going to go upwards. And we've been saying that now since early June, actually before June, that what's going to happen is that we must go up. Now have a look at this pink circle here. The next move upwards, and I can't draw the full one here, but if I go a little bit smaller, I can give you an idea. And go back in last week's video and have a look at what we show there. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen here, but you get my drift, okay? We're not going to put any figures in here because if we do, there are a lot of people that just simply take our data and duplicate our data, well-known analysts, and then they make it as if it's their own data. Now, so this is why, guys, I don't want to give too much information out, but I'm going to give you step by step where we are heading into. Now, let me just clear the screen up here. So our next move now, you can see that Bitcoin now is soon going to break out of this blue box here. Now, remember here in the beginning, I just want to take your attention quickly back to this one here. Can you remember when we were here and everybody said that, oh, the market is now going to break down? And we said, no, we still have to have 1 or 2 or 3 days up, and then we're going to have 3 dojis in a row. Now remember this, guys, there's the 3 dojis. 1, 2, 3. That's more like a hammer. It's not really a doji, but that one is a doji. You can probably argue those are dojis. So those are the 3 candlesticks that showed us that the market is going to go downwards. And remember, that was predicted long before this even happened. Now, the market went down, it stabbed into this box CC+, exactly what we wanted. We were expecting about a 9.4. Let me just show you what we did expect. Let me just put that there. 9434, I think, was the... I can't remember the tertius. I think it was 9434 or something like that. So we missed that with a little bit, you know. But the point is, you know, we had a high point here at that point there, just breaking the $9,000 level, and then the market actually came down into this box here. Now, this red dot here that you see here, this red candle should have actually gone right down there to that bottom, and it didn't. Now, one of the reasons it didn't do that is because there's a lot of strength in Bitcoin. The same, guys, as the fact that this level here, see here where we talk about the BB plus on the bottom here, and it went straight up here to the CC plus there. You can see that it's broken these lines, broken upwards and broken upwards again. Now, that is one of the most bullish indicators that you will find in any chart, whether it's in the world stock markets or anything else, anywhere in the world. Now, what we are going to see here, and I'm just going to zoom in here, is that, remember here in the beginning of the year we said, or beginning of June, we said expect mostly sideways in June. And this is what's been happening. So we, at least we know, we could prepare for that emotionally, that we are going to go sideways. We may go sideways a little bit more for a day or two, but the breakout is going to happen. And what we normally do, just for the guys that are coming on board now, that are only looking at these videos now for the first time, we normally draw these blocks, and that will help you identify where the market is going to go. Now, remember this, guys, we buy low and we sell high. We don't do day trading. Don't try to time the market now, especially not now, you know, where you say, I'm gonna now sell and wait for Bitcoin maybe to drop $100. Guys, you're gonna lose money. Like a lot of people are losing money just buying and selling. We want to sell at the high point, and that high point is here where this block A is. Okay, so now you can now start accumulating. And remember, you can accumulate here on the bottom. This is what we said. When we see a confirmed uptrend, 1, 2, 3 candles is a confirmed uptrend. So you can now start buying. And what is a good sign here, and I'll show this to you every single week, this pink line here must cross this orange line. And you'll see that this one here, and keep an eye on that, because as I go through today's reports, I want you to focus your attention on that. This is a great indicator where our 3B algorithm, the MAE stands for mathematical algorithm equation. It's an equation that we use, a formula to work out where the price of Bitcoin is going to go. Guys, everything in the world works in formulas. You know, if you look at how they build the pyramids is built on a formula. That's why it's so accurate. Now, if you take the pyramid in Egypt and you take a It's a technical indicator called Fibonacci. If you take a Fibonacci, you'll find that the pyramid is built according to a Fibonacci technical analysis. Go and study where Fibonacci comes from. Guys, it's just unbelievable. The distance of the moon from the Earth works out in a Fibonacci angle. The distance of Mars from the Earth works out in a Fibonacci channel. Anything in the world, even, I don't want to get into that now, Tertius, but the guys can go and study that. But anyway, so we use a mathematical formula to work out where Bitcoin is going to go. It's a very complex system, and we've built it in a program called Python, the software Python, the coding Python. And this is where the name comes from, Python signals. Now, when this crosses here, exactly where my mouse is now, this one here is the Python y-axis. And don't worry if you don't understand all these names, Python y-axis and 2B algo. We will do the thinking for you, and then you can take this data as a guideline and apply it to your own investing. So right now at the bottom, if you want to buy Bitcoin, that's a good buy within this block. Now, we believe that Bitcoin is soon going to break out here, and then we are heading into this level here of block A. Now, this is where the new cycle, the ABCD cycle, starts over again. Now, similar to what we had a CC plus here, we are going to have a B minus on the right-hand side of this chart. So in effect, guys, the market is going to go upwards here into block A, probably hitting 10,700 or as high as 11,689. See this yellow channel where that little dot ends? And if I put another figure there and just give you a price label, that price label is 11,941. So now Bitcoin, I'm giving you the highest number. Bitcoin normally does not hit into the higher number. Like, remember here we said 9434. Let me just make that. I think that was 9434, the target that we had there. And you can see that we missed it. If we say the target is going to be 11,689, it may be hitting between 10,7 and 11,689, somewhere in this block. But more important, there's an indicator here, which is the 24th of June. It could be that we head into this high point, around about 24 June to be the high point. Now, if it extends, we will notice that it'll do something similar. Look at this top here. Can you see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. 7 days where it moves sideways on the top. It could perhaps do the same there where we head into the top, it goes sideways, and then what comes then, guys, is a big drop. Now, this is not a big drop, but it's I want to call it a sudden drop. So in effect, if I draw this now for you, let me just get my brush here. If I draw this for you, we could break up. Sorry, let me just have my algorithm data here on my other screen. Okay, it looks like we go something similar like this, have a bit of a spike here, go sideways and spike again, and sideways into this block here. We hang around here for a little bit, and then a sudden quick drop, something like this. It just literally drops like that. And I believe it could stop into this box here, into B. It moves up a little bit, and then come here. Somewhere around here, we have another big drop. It loops down like this. And I believe it's going to drop somewhere here, but it's going to come back very, very quickly. And obviously, from that point onwards, we'll do another webinar and I'll show you what's going to happen here. So now that you know what Bitcoin is going to do, guys, it takes away all the fear. Now you can go and trade Bitcoin. Now remember this, Bitcoin is the granddaddy of movements. We always follow Bitcoin and then we get into the other coins. Now, I'm going to go to Litecoin quickly now. And it seems that my screen is a lot faster now, so it pitches up on your side a lot faster. So here with Litecoin, now to give you an idea just for the new people here on the bottom, we recommended that our subscribers get back into the market here on 15 December 2018. And if you bought Litecoin right here on the bottom, now remember this, guys, I didn't even buy Litecoin on the bottom. I'll tell you where I bought it. But anyway, you would have made about a 522% gain. Now, it's always difficult, and this is just a lesson going forward. When this market started dropping here and dropping here and dropping here, when it started turning around, we said, okay, right, we need to get back into the crypto market. I started buying here at about 20, 27, 26, somewhere around there, because we need to see the confirmation of the uptrend. And I even bought some here on the bottom here. Yes, that's correct. About 27, 28. I also narrowed down, bought some down here. But regardless of that, let's say if you bought around about there, on that level there, you would have made about 420%. If you waited and you bought a little bit higher, you would have made about 320% in Litecoin. Okay, so the reason I'm showing you this is that what is coming in Litecoin is going to be a lot more than this 500%. You haven't missed the boat. But we now need to be smart of how we are going to move forward. And I'm going to show you short term what we see in Litecoin. Now, very important here is that blue line there. That blue line is the high point for Bitcoin and for Litecoin of 5 May 2018. That high point is coming up in our algorithm data every single time when we rerun our data. Now, if you take this channel upwards from the bottom here of 8 February, and you move that channel to this date here of 3 April, and you move that upwards, it comes here right to this high point of 287. That's a mathematical algorithm equation. Now, where we are now is we are now in this channel here. The minimum target that we see now up till around about the 24th of June, just happening in the next 10 or 14 days, is this target here of 174. And it could potentially hit this target here of 189. Now that target here of 189, just to give you, and I'm not kidding you guys, this is the honest truth. When we were here in December, somewhere here December and somewhere here in January, we came out with a report on this website, pythonsignals.com, on these webinars, and you can go back in the office, back office, the reports are there, where we said that Litecoin is going to head upwards and hit this level here of 189. And we're at different levels there, 90, 125, 135, 151, 189. And it's going to go up into these levels like magic, literally. Now, we've gone upwards here. We are now standing at about 132. Now, this is a very, very nice chart. You want to have a look at this chart, and all other coins must follow this chart. This is a perfect bullish chart. Now, when you look at this, I'm going to go through this one here. This one here is the 22 mathematical equation, which is that dark brown line. That dark brown line is pointing upwards. And this Python Y indicator, which is this blue line here, you can't see that. You can probably see it more or less. Now, let me just see if I can get it. Anyway, so you can see that. That's a Python Y-axis. You want the Python blue line, that Python X, to be above the 22. But now, look at this. This is one amazing indicator. This Python Y-axis and the MS52 number. When we want that to cross, because this green cross, this green line, must follow underneath the 22 MAE. It's a great sign. And what we want to see is the 2B algo crossing, where the pink line crosses the orange line. And then obviously this one here will just simply lag behind. that little 2B axis. So you can see that all these are moving upwards. And what this does in algorithm analysis, this creates upwards movement. Now this upwards move that you see here, okay, where my mouse is now, comes all the way from these two indicators. That little cross there and that little cross there. And see what happens next? Bang, all this happens. But look at this, when you have this cross here and you have that cross there, the market always jumps and then comes down. Now, there's two crosses again that's going to happen here. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the market is going to go maybe drop a little bit, then it's going to go up and drop, and then it's off to the races again. So the market, and look at this, let me just give this indication to you. See, it goes up, it drops, goes up, it drops, goes up and drop, up and drop, up and drop. Guys, it's going to repeat this process. This will be maybe a higher one, and then it's going to come back and drop, maybe a little bit bigger, and here around about 100, and then it's going to go back up again, and there it goes again. So it's going to be something similar like that in Litecoin. What you may want to consider when we hit this high point here is to exit Litecoin. This is now where I will recommend that we exit. Why? Because we can exit at this high point here and come back here on the bottom and buy Litecoin again with the same amount of money. Now see this Python y-axis? That line is going to go sideways and is going to create support, and Litecoin will come back and drop on that support, most likely around about 100, maybe just breaking through 100 and touching the $99, and then it will just go upwards again. This, in my opinion, could be potentially, I don't want to say this is the lowest point, but in Litecoin, as we head on here, we're going to have that same low point, maybe a little bit lower, just a little bit as a stab through, a one-day drop. There's going to be a one-day drop. And that one-day drop will be a result of manipulation. So remember this, a year ago we couldn't work out the manipulation, but we can do it now. So we can figure out what these whales are going to do. They're going to run it up a little bit, maybe sideways, and then drop it somewhere here. But closer to that time, guys, we'll give you that information. The first job now, we want to find out where this high point is. So let me just delete that. Now, what I've done is I've done this chart here. This pink line is most likely what's going to play out. So let me zoom in and I'll give you an idea of what we think is going to happen. We believe that Litecoin is still going to drop a little bit further, and it could drop into this level here, touching this bottom here, which is about $118 or $120. Now, do not try to sell now and buy on the low. I mean, this is a very small drop. You just simply need to ride out the wave. Now, in my case, I've actually already sold right there at the top at 140. Because I saw that coming up. And can you see that is a clear indication of a doji? So when I saw that, I sold, but I didn't sell all my Litecoin. I only sold about 20%. And now I am going to wait here and see if this drops here right down to the bottom here, and then I'll buy back again. Now remember, guys, the reason I say don't try to do it, because the average person can't do this. I'm wrong as well, because what happens if the market now suddenly stops where it is now, just there, and starts turning upwards into this level here? Then you have sold there, and you potentially have to come back and I'll buy again at the same level. So you take a bit of a risk. In this case, guys, I can simply just tell you, if you don't know what to do, simply hold. There's no problem in holding. You know, there's too many people that are emailing me and say, when should I sell? When should I buy? Guys, we buy on the bottom and we sell on the high. So for example, when we recommended Litecoin on bottom levels, you can just simply hold, because you guys saw the levels, 135, 151, 189. Those are the levels. If you don't know what to do, simply just hold. Now, this play, anyway, this is what we see. We see Litecoin coming down over the weekend, and here, possibly Monday or Tuesday, up again. Now, the high point is about 24 June. Let's have a look and see what the calendar looks like. So today, for me, it's Friday. In America, it's Thursday. Now, over the weekend, I believe that Litecoin could drop. And then here, Tuesday, upwards, 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 up till the end of this weekend. And then Monday, we're going to have that big drop. This is what I'm planning, what I'm seeing so far. It may change. And if there are any changes, we will come out and warn you of that. Guys, the days are long gone, and I'm seeing this in our algorithm where we can predict and say in the next 30 days, this is going to happen. Those days, unfortunately, are gone. There's so much manipulation in the market, so much new things happening every single day. There's such a speed up of the process that it's literally impossible to plan out 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead. But what we're going to try and do is to still help you and plan that for you. Like what I said is going to happen, for example, here with Bitcoin. You can see that we say that Bitcoin is going to break up here, maybe today or over this weekend. As a matter of fact, let me just have a look. I did have a, yeah, there it is. I haven't shown you guys this, so I'll show you what the break is going to look like. There we go. There we go. Okay, there it is. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, Tertius. So the break in Bitcoin is going to look similar to this algorithm pink line. And you can see that? Yes. Okay, so if you put that down there, we expect a breakout maybe here, let me just have a look here, maybe here over the weekend, going upwards into these levels here, and that is going to take all cryptocurrencies upwards in price. So that is your play for now. We can predict that, and we can predict and say that we're going to get to that high point. It's going to drop back here, and then it's going to drop back here, and a bit of sideways movement, and then we're up to the races, up again. So that is your play, and that is more or less what we can expect from Bitcoin. And you can see here with this data, actually, it breaks into a higher number of about $12,500. But let's rather work on these figures between 10.7 and 11.689. If it overshoots, it does that. But a date to watch is this date of 24, 25. We may go a little bit sideways there before we drop. But closer to that time, we'll provide more updates. So Litecoin, we've spoken about Litecoin. I do believe that Litecoin is going to drop a little bit. Our first target here, as I say, is 174, between 174 and 189. So those two targets there. Okay, cool. Let's go into Ethereum. And while I'm just having the Ethereum chart up here, let's see if there's any questions, guys, with regard to Bitcoin and Litecoin.
Yeah, I think, Maurice, there's a question about, when you're saying get out of the market. Guys, yes, in the blogs, there's an article about stable coins. And when we get out of the crypto market, we move into stable coins for that time. So go and have a look at that blog. There are a couple of coins that Maurice discusses there. And then David has asked, is it possible to put up charts on the blog with the ABCD cycles for the 10 coins to hold? David, I think that'll possibly unfold going forward. I think it's a bit difficult to do on a long-term expectation. I don't know, Maurice, put that question to you.
Yes, Tertius, that's actually a great question. Now, guys, we can do that, and there's so many variables in the altcoins. We have looked at that, and we've actually run a test for the last 4 weeks on that. We are a little bit off with that, but nonetheless, I think what I'll do, I'll anyway give it out so that you have more or less an idea. It's the problem is this: not all coins run at the same time, and not all coins basically go up or down at the same time. We are going to try and do it, and we may start with 1 or 2 coins. Like, for example, we can do it with Ethereum and Litecoin. Yes, we can do that. But we are working on that, and we'll bring that data to you. I mean, this will be groundbreaking data if we do it, because nobody else in the world can literally have Bitcoin and all the other altcoins exactly say where they're going to go. But we are working on that, and as I go through, I'm going to explain to you what these algorithms mean and how they work. And based on that, Tertius, we could potentially do that.
I think the other risk that I see, Morris, is the more information we publish way in advance, the more information leaks out of this community into the general general public, and especially to other analysts, because I know definitely other analysts are watching what you're saying, and they're looking at what you're doing. So I think, it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. It's one thing to know, yes, buy these coins and hold them long term, but it's something completely different to actually share that proprietary information of the detail. So that's just my take on things.
Yeah, it's definitely true, Tertius. Like, for example, most of you guys know that I was born in South Africa, and I started learning English later on in my life, and I speak Xhosa, Fanagalo, Sotho, Korean, and a whole bunch of other languages. So my language is a little bit broken. So in many of my videos, and you guys know this, I've used this term in Litecoin, where I said that Litecoin is going to slice through 151. And then somebody else sent me these videos of a very prominent guy who was talking. He's an American guy. They don't use slicing through. I mean, they don't use that term. I know because I'm married to an American. And then suddenly this guy was using these terms. And when I listened to the video, I realized that he's using all my slang English words. So guys, please don't send our data out to anybody. You are just going to hurt ourselves, and you're going to hurt our own community. The data that we are providing here, guys, there are people that are offering us so much money just to get hold of all our data. We're not going to give it to them. I don't care who they are. They can come in and sign up in Python Signals and then get into using our data and build a business here. This is for us to build a business, for us to become rich, make money. This is so keep our IP data very, very confidential. Just one other thing, Nicholas asked AGI 5% all year. I'm not sure what the question is there, Nicholas. Maybe if you, or Jonathan. No, it's Nicholas. Nicholas, if you maybe can just come on and ask that question. Don't feel obligated to come on, guys, but talk and just ask. There's no dumb question.
I think that Gina unmuted herself. Stuart, if you want to unmute yourself and just ask that question of yours with the new cash relating to buying now or waiting for the B- block.
I didn't hear.
Stuart, are you available?
I am. Thank you so much. I asked this question last week, but it's exciting. The market is looking more up and up. Before, we were looking at a low, an arching high, and another low, and those are disappearing. And I'm trying to collect as much available fiat cash right now to buy in, and I'm trying to time it. And I know you said not do that, but is it better to buy now and sell up at the 24th high? Or would it be better to wait for the BB minus box?
You can buy now, because remember this, Tertius, if you can remember, we said that we expect a bit of a drop here, and it could happen at any time. And that drop was down to this level here of, let me just bring that in, of about lower than this, 4416 as the maximum low. We don't see that anymore because, these crosses here are beautiful crossing over. And last week when we had this webinar, we didn't even have this cross close by. We were expecting the green to drop down and the purple line to go up. And that would have created a drop. But as this gentleman just said, the market is looking bullish. Guys, this is amazing stuff. You are barely going to see what is happening here now. You'll see it now for the next 2 years. You won't see it again. This is why I've said you've got 2 years to make insane gains. We are still going to make gains after the 2 years, and we are working on that, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So just for that gentleman here, if you want to buy Bitcoin now, yes, Bitcoin is a good buy. You can buy it now and sell it there on the high. You will probably make about a 30% gain. But I mean, if Warren Buffett can make 30%, if he just knows about Bitcoin now, and invest $1 billion and he will make $300 million, So we look at about a 30% gain. It's good money, but then you have to sell in the top here and come back and buy in the bottom here again at this low. I expect that low. Let me explain that just quickly, and I'm going to draw this. See this? I'm going to follow this purple Python y-axis now. It's going to be a different color. It's going to go something like this. Okay, so now you can see what's going to happen with that Python y-axis. Now, the low point here is going to be about 7.5, maybe in this block, from about 8.5 to 7.5. But the point is there, that is going to be the low point. Now, for that gentleman who asked that question, if you buy now, it's a perfect scenario here. You ride it up from about 8,000 now, you sell when it's about 10,000. Don't try and time the market. Basically terms here, buy 8, sell 10. Don't worry if it goes up a little bit higher. You come back here and buy it again. Here, the low at 8,000. Here's a perfect opportunity to make some money. But that same play is going to happen in Ethereum and could happen in Litecoin as well. Now, Ethereum is going to have a lot higher gain. And let me quickly go there. Sorry, I'll just be back in a sec. Just have to take some coffee here. Okay, so we're back at Ethereum now. Now look at this now. If we hit this target here, I'm saying that we're going to hit this around about 25. Now Ethereum is a little bit later. What I've done, I've developed an algorithm line for you, this pink line. I expect that it's going to be something like this. You're going to see that Ethereum is going to go a little bit sideways now. Let me just make this larger, and then you can see exactly what's going to happen there. I want you guys really to focus on this, because this is where we're going to make money. Now remember, I'm saying that Ethereum could be one day later than Bitcoin and Litecoin, where it's going to go up. If not, if we move this algorithm line a little bit in, and we say that the high point is going to be at 25, then what we can do, and you can see it's actually following that exact line, more or less. Now, we believe it's going to come down slightly, but then it's going to start moving upwards come here next week. And that high point is between 390 and 470. Now look at this, guys. Here is the Python y-axis. So if I draw that line again here, it's going to look something like this. And it's going to start moving, well, more or less like that. Now, it's going to break the Python y-axis. And I believe if you look at this now, see this yellow, I just made all these things yellow so we can see it more clearly. If this only comes to that point here, this will make about a 57% gain. Now let's go back to Litecoin. Bitcoin. I want to show you the Python y-axis. See where this Python y-axis is? It's right there at the top. And Ethereum still has to break that. And you can see here, it actually breaks it with that one little candle and then come back. Let's go and have a look and see what happened with Bitcoin. And remember, we can make about a 57%. As a matter of fact, a little bit more, maybe around about 70 or 80%. Now, with Bitcoin, let's have a look. Can you see where this Python y-axis is? I hope you guys can see that. Tertius,
yeah, so it's ahead of Ethereum. Eh?
See, Ethereum still has to do what Bitcoin is going to do. Ethereum is here on the bottom.
Yes.
See there, exactly where I say Ethereum has to break out. Ethereum is going to break out like this and break out there and stab through. But then come here on the top, it's going to do exactly what this is done. It's going to go to the top and drop like a rock and then go sideways, drop a little bit. So let me just show you. So Ethereum is about, let's say there. Ethereum is going to do this. It's going to go up and up and up and break the Python Y. It's going to come down, go sideways, drop again, and that will be support there. And then we're off to the races, and then it's going to follow Bitcoin again. It's complicated actually to explain this on a screen like this, but I think you guys get the point. The point is, guys, if you want to know what Ethereum is going to do, just have a look and see what Bitcoin is doing. It's going to follow Bitcoin. And at one point, I give you a hint here, at one point, Ethereum is going to play catch up with Bitcoin, and it's going to be 10% of the value of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin today is 8,000, Ethereum is going to be $800. Yeah, guys, this is crazy stuff, and this is the only information that you will hear here. So, and now you understand why I am saying that your Ethereum should be 20% of your portfolio. Now, during the year, those numbers may change, but then I'll come back to you and say, okay, right, move Ethereum, not necessarily Ethereum, we're going to keep that for the whole year, but move XRP into something else. Yeah. So this is not going to be a set stone, but I'll guide you throughout the year because I want you to make insane money, you know, and you're going to do that.
Morris, while you're at that that buy and hold portfolio again, there's been some questions about that, and I've received some messages as well. Perhaps just go through that again, because I think some people may have just missed it. This is what you're saying, possibly 20% of our total portfolio can be in a buy and hold portfolio, which would typically currently look like this. So this is something that we would not trade. We would trade with the 80% that's left over. That would be our active trading portfolio. And this one would be something that we would buy and put on a ledger or put it aside, one side, and keep it for the long term, being at least in a year. Is that a correct understanding?
That's correct. So,
okay.
So that's just what I want people to do. And remember, guys, you don't have to do this. You know, it's just a suggestion. There's a lot of people that have told me, listen, we just want to invest a certain part of our portfolio into certain coins. What should we do? And they want to trade with the rest. Now, you're going to hit it on both sides now. So Tarsis is 100% correct. All this that is now highlighted here, and I'm going to send an update out where we explain this. Not now, but just give me about 5 or 6 days. Then we're going to do this. There's no rush in this. These coins here that are highlighted, we're going to put that in a 20% of your portfolio. So if you trade 100,000, you take 20,000, 10,000 or 20,000. You can decide what you want to do. You put that in this portfolio and you never ever touch it again. Whether you open an account on Binance and you leave it on Binance, once it's there, you move it to your wallet. Okay, you don't keep these coins in exchange. You move it on your wallet as much as you can. Some coins you may, I have not yet found a way to move my BNB over to, I've never tried it really, but BNB, but there may be some coins that you can't move to a Ledger Nano or to any hardware wallet. But the point is you leave this 20% till we tell you to exit the market. And you're going to see extraordinary gains here. The other 80%, you use that as your active portfolio to trade, meaning what we say here now. Okay, right here at the top here with Bitcoin, for example, if you own Bitcoin in your active portfolio, you sell it. But if you own Bitcoin in the other portfolio, the 10 or 20%, don't worry about it. Don't sell it. Just keep it. You know, it sounds counterintuitive, but just trust me, guys. It's got to do with psychological investing as well. You know what? If people on 16 December 2017, when Bitcoin hit a high, if most people only kept what they had and didn't try buy and sell during the year, they would have lost only by now, we worked it out, they would have lost about only 44%. But because people tried to buy and sell and they did it wrong, they lost about 95% and they're still down with probably about 80%. So I'm not saying that hodling is the right way. You can hodl meaning just you buy and you keep. If you want to do that, you can. But if you want to make real big money, you must have an active portfolio where you trade. I trade an X amount of money. And when, okay, let's say, for example, if you use 50, let's make it small, 10,000. If I were to trade 10,000, when I always try and double that. When I double that, or I'm close to double, I take the money off the table, guys. And I would buy Litecoin or other coins and I store them, bang, into a hardware wallet where I can't lose them. Then I go back into the market, as Tertius mentioned, an active portfolio, and I start again with $10,000 and I trade again. See, you can do it with 100,000, you can do it with 500,000, but you don't want to leave too much money on the table, on the exchanges. I hope that's clear.
Yeah, and there's, I know David was asking, would we have the same coins in the trading portfolio? David, probably not. In the trading portfolio, we might be trading 2 or 3 of those coins at a time in active portfolio. And I know David is one of our more experienced traders, so David would probably have a couple more coins in there. But I suppose there would be an overlap between what we are holding and what we're actively trading, Morris.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay. And this is why sometimes you will have to have another exchange. So you can leave it on Binance and trade on Bitfinex or Bittrex or any other exchange, but you leave it there. Remember, guys, this portfolio that I'm talking about is more geared to the people that that haven't got a lot of experience in trading.
Yeah,
that is where it's geared to. If you are a little bit more risk adverse and you know trading, you don't have to follow this. But these coins are coins that you need to have a look at, because let me give you a hint here. Remember, I said that there are going to be one coin that's going to jump up 3,000%. When it starts, and it's going to happen very quickly soon, when it starts, it's going to take about 90 to 120 days, and it's going to go up 3,000%, guys. Now, remember that coin, what I said was Litecoin. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's mark that as Litecoins. And I don't want any confusion here. Sorry, I've marked Ethereum.
You've marked Ethereum.
Yeah, I don't want any confusion, guys. Okay, the second coin that's going to jump up 3,000% is Ethereum. There are 2 other coins that are going to jump up as well. I'm going to mark them for you here. We thought it's only going to be one coin, and the other one here is Digibyte.
Sure.
In our data, there are 3 coins that move up so quick and so fast in 90 days that you make 3,000%. Now, this is why I say, if you hold this, you can make some good money. But if you take your 80% portfolio, and if you were to trade Digibyte, XRP, Ethereum, and Litecoin, if you were to trade it, you can make a lot more by just making about, I'm talking about, okay, let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, you can possibly make about in the next year, I'm talking about 4 or 5 trades. You're not going to trade it every single day up and down. And if you keep watching these blogs and you keep coming on here on the weekends, I'll explain to you what's going to happen. Like, for example, now, you know now that Bitcoin is heading to this high point. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to tell you that Ethereum is going to come to a high point. We're going to sell. I think there was about 4 or 5 times in the next 12 months that we're going to do that. The rest of the time, you simply hold and you don't worry. Let the other people in the world worry, because they don't know what's going to happen. We're simply just going to hold, and we're going to sell and buy at the right time. For example, now, and by the way, we can see here that Bitcoin is just moving really nicely up. It may follow this pattern here, this pink pattern here, where it's most probably going to go and break out of this blue box, but then come back again. And in the next few days, we'll break out upwards. Nonetheless, I do believe we can hit that box. So while we're here at Ethereum, just to reiterate again, I do expect that we're going to go between 390 and 470. That target here, about a 66%. It was actually higher because we actually did that from there, which was about 84%. Okay, so Bitcoin Cash, just quickly heading into that, and we can answer questions as we go. And just feel free to interrupt, Tertius. You can see here that this 24B axis on Bitcoin Cash is perfectly here on the bottom. This pink line has, oh, sorry, the green line, the MS52, this one, has now crossed above that pink line, and that's what I want. I want to see that. Now, what is missing here in Bitcoin Cash, guys, is the 3B algorithm line and the Python y-axis. Can't find it anywhere in the chart. It's still missing. What that means is that there is huge upside yet to come. That's all it means. For example, let's have a look at this pink line here, and we look at this orange line and the red line. If we go back to Litecoin, you see here that I do believe that maybe Bitcoin Cash is around about this side here. So Bitcoin Cash could go a little bit more sideways and then have that big break upwards there. So that could still happen. So let's go back to Bitcoin Cash. Now what I've done is I have worked out two algorithm patterns. One of the patterns is this one here. And we could see something like this. Now, I really want you to focus on that and understand this, you know. Now, this could give you from today. Now, remember, it was there. Bitcoin has gone up about, Bitcoin Cash has gone up about 16 or 18% overnight. So it could still make you $111, sorry, percent. So it's going to go a little bit more sideways, maybe a drop over the weekend sideways is going to touch the bottom of this channel here, and maybe in 2 days, simply just break out upwards, up into 24 June. Now, this is what I'm expecting. I may be wrong with the dates, guys. Remember, it's so difficult to identify dates, and sometimes we are wrong with the dates. Now, in this case, we did put a blue box in there. So we are starting, just a gentleman asked the question, we are working on that. We are then going to have a quick drop into this lower box here. Now, this line here, now remember from that point, I'll just quickly explain this as well. We're going to go sideways, and then we're going to drop again, maybe into this box here as a low point. Is this the kind of things that they were asking for, Tertius, that people are asking that they want to see the ABCD cycle?
I think that might be useful, Maurice. But I must tell you, there's a number of comments from guys saying rather keep that information close to your chest. We trust your analysis, and we trust that what you're doing is going to work to our favor, rather than putting it out there and running the risk of it being shared outside the community. So there's a number of folks that were saying rather keep that information in-house, and we can get that information as we go along. I mean, if we've got it in a hold portfolio and it's time to move some of it out, you can come back to us and say, listen, guys, on the portfolio, it's time to move some of it out now. It's up to us to stay updated. I think that's a much better strategy than to have all the information out there. The other risk is if people have too much information ahead of time, they might just take that and then forget to stay updated. And we all know how fast information can change and how fast things can move in this crypto environment. And then if you haven't paid attention to it 3 weeks later, you're actually working with outdated information. So
that's a good point, guys. What Tertius mentions here, although we give you this far in advance play, with new data that comes in every single day, these things can change rapidly. And this is why you need to attend these webinars every single week. You must know this information because things can change. Great, yeah, thanks, Tertius. I'll keep that in mind. We may give people a week or two ahead what will happen. Now, this play here, we're either going to form that play here and break the 694 level up to about 840, 830. And remember what I said, Bitcoin Cash is playing catch up as well as Ethereum is playing catch up. Bitcoin Cash should also be around about 8.7% the value of Bitcoin. And in time, you're going to find that Bitcoin Cash will become 10 and even 15% of the value of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin reaches $40,000, Bitcoin Cash could potentially be $6,000. Crazy stuff. And this is going to happen. So there are two scenarios here. The other scenario is that this is going to play out, something like this. that we could potentially go upwards here and that we only reach this level here. And I want you to be aware, specifically with Bitcoin Cash, that we could potentially only hit this level here of 617. That is the middle line. See the middle line there? Let me just make that the middle line a little bit darker. That's the middle line, that dotted line or stripe line, right there at that top. The other option is, so there are two options, unfortunately, here with Bitcoin Cash. The other option is it can break there. It's going to be very difficult timing it, but one of the indicators, what we're going to look at is this. When Bitcoin reaches that top and Bitcoin starts turning around, expect Bitcoin Cash to follow it exactly on par. It's going to be like hours just after Bitcoin drops, then Bitcoin Cash will drop as well. Now, you can see here that Bitcoin has spiked upwards here a little bit, not big. Okay, have a look at this last day candle. Let's go to Bitcoin Cash. So you can see that Bitcoin Cash follows Bitcoin. Let me just move that out. See those two green candles there? And Bitcoin Cash has just moved up a little bit more. And it's going to happen when Bitcoin moves, Bitcoin Cash moves. But Bitcoin Cash will go up higher. If Bitcoin moves 5%, Bitcoin Cash will move 7 or 8% every single day, a little bit more till it catches up. Let's get into Digibyte. Digibyte has got a negative confluence at this moment. Now, you'll probably wonder and say, but why do I put it in this portfolio, which is called the fast track portfolio? There's a reason for that. Digibyte is going to go sideways, and I believe that it could even break this low here of 6 February 2019. And this is, guys, how quick things change. Right here at this point, you can see here that we actually had here a positive confluence where the market should have broken upwards and go upwards here into higher levels. But this confluence is coming downwards, and I'm going to log in there, just zoom in here so you can see that a little bit more clear. Now, just get a general feeling for what you see on your screen now. Can you see that all the indicators, every single one is coming downwards? Okay, they're all coming downwards. Even the Python y-axis had a bit of a bump there where it comes down. This one is coming down. The 3B algorithm is coming down, which is not a good sign. Now, let me go back to, for example, Litecoin. Have a look at Litecoin. Can you see the difference in Litecoin where all the indicators are moving upwards? Okay, so let's go back to Digibyte again. And I'm talking about this 24B. The 3B is moving up. The pink line is moving upwards. The green line is up. Everything is moving upwards. Let's go back to Digibyte. This only happened in the last few weeks where we've realized that something is happening here with Digibyte that's not good. And we had to make a call yesterday and say, what are we going to look at? So one of the things that's going to happen with Digibyte is this. Digibyte is going to go sideways downwards. Come here. Now remember this date, don't look at that date as the date where it's going to break out. But come here on this specific point here, Digibyte is going to break upwards. I believe that they are dropping Digibyte. The people, the powers that be, the manipulators, they're dropping it deliberately because they are buying Digibyte right here at the bottom. When this happens, at some point here, now that date may be August, September, October. We don't know that date yet. As a matter of fact, I do, but I'm just not going to say that. But come here at a certain point in time, Digibyte is going to go up 2,725%, about 3,000%. And it's going to go something like what you see here on your screen. That's why I'm saying that Digibyte is something that you need to keep in your portfolio. Now, if you're smart about this, what you do, you don't buy Digibyte now. You take that 5% and you put that in your top coin, which is the top coin. You always need to keep all your money in Ethereum. Don't worry if it drops. You move that 5% in there and you wait till Digibyte starts moving. Then you buy it back. So your Digibyte effectively now can be zero, but you still have a portfolio. Create your spreadsheet, have the portfolio. Just put nothing there. because, but in general terms, when it moves, we'll start investing 5. And at that time, we may increase it because there's another coin that will drop in value, and we're going to move that over then to Digibyte. Okay, so remember this, guys, nothing is set in stone. You can't simply come into cryptos and say, I'm going to invest in these 5 coins and I'm going to be rich. No, you have to be really smart about these things. And this is why I say Digibyte is only 5% now, but I'm going to make it clear in the next post. Okay, so that's with regard to Digibyte. Yes, go ahead.
Maurice, I know a couple of folks are saying, you know, we're starting off maybe with $1,000, but our target is to grow our trading portfolio up to a $5,000 or a $10,000. I know you've said, you know, you regularly take out, and yes, we are teaching our folks to take out some profits, pay off some debts, you know, take something off the table. But as we're growing our portfolio, let's say I've grown my portfolio now from $1,000 to $5,000. Do I then revisit my 20% and top up those coins that I may be a bit short on? Or do I take 20% of what I've got now and then we review it in maybe 6 months' time?
I think that is just what we'll do. That's a difficult question just to answer here because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But the principle behind it, yes, that's good. So once you make some profit, we'll take some of that profit and move it into other coins. Because not all coins are going to move at the same time. So yes, that is a good point. I can tell you this, for example, and I may mark this out as well. The coins that I will hold, if you only want to hold and don't do anything, is I would hold Litecoin, Ethereum, Neo, and BNB. If you don't want to play around, these are long-term coins that will always move up. And again, they will be Neo, BNB, Ethereum, and Litecoin. But you won't make the top gains that you would by not buying Digibyte now. We'll buy Digibyte later. And let's say that principle that you talked about, let's say if that specific person holds $1,000 here in Ethereum and we manage to get it up to 5,000. At that point, we can take 1,000 and move that into Digibyte. Okay, but guys, it's kind of, you know, I contemplated really long and hard. How should we do it? Should we do it? Should we discuss this with people? Because I know there's going to be so many questions. But what I want you to, but what I want you to do, guys, remember, I don't want to run a kindergarten here because I don't want to be on the phone with everybody. I get so many emails and I look at the questions and I go like, I'm not even going to answer that question. One guy asked me, when should I sell AGI? And I thought, yes, how many times have we said on this webinar that Walton Coin, WAX, and AGI, buy it and keep it? And we also said, don't put your entire portfolio in that. Use $500 or $1,000 or $100. Hold it. So I'm not going to answer those questions. You know, you know, I get like literally 300 emails every single week that are questions related to these kind of things. Although we want to answer them, myself, my team, we can't answer them. Even my team looks at these emails and go like, oh, wow, you know, where has this guy been? And we look and we see in Python signals, oh, this guy signed up in December 2018. You know, we really want to help people, but yes, you have to start thinking for yourself too, guys. Because, I mean, nobody, I tell you this, guys, nobody in the entire world will give the inside secrets of these Python Y-axis, the 3B algo. Most analysts will hold that data for themselves. I am here to teach you and train you because I want to create people that can think for themselves and use your own smartness. Every single person, I tell you, people are smart and you can figure this out. So what I'm saying to you is that just these coins are the coins that we are looking at very seriously. And I've just told you now, nobody else knows this in the entire world, guys. There are 4 coins that's going to go up crazy. Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Digibyte. Nobody, you won't find this information anywhere in the world. Nobody knows this. Now, the secondary coins that I said, if you want to buy and hold, is Litecoin, Ethereum, Neo, and BNB. You can group that as well in different facets. And when you attend these webinars, read the blog posts, you'll get a feeling of what's happening in the market. And then you can actually allocate your own funds and move it around. But what I can tell you now, if you want to be safe, move a certain percentage of your portfolio in this, we call it the fast track portfolio. Keep it, never look at it again. But trade the other 80%. And don't worry about moving it around. So I'm just trying to make it easy, guys, where you can take a small percentage of your portfolio, and that's going to skyrocket. You're going to look back at that one day and say, just how did that go from 5,000 to 50,000?
Yeah.
Literally, and it's going to be a big surprise for you. And then you've got the option here with your 80% portfolio, bang, to trade that as well as we go ahead. Let's quickly get into EOS. Time is just running out. Now look at this, guys. Remember this, if you use the top 40 crypto report, it's a must that you have a look at that. Although it's the one of 1 April, I think, it's still valid. All those targets are valid. There's no need to change that report. And many people are asking, where's the report? Just go into your back office, type in the reports, search for it, you'll see the top 40 crypto report. Now, EOS is going to go back up to this level here. The reason I'm saying look at the top 40 crypto report, remember here we said this blue line, that is a line to watch. When we break that line, it's going to go up to this $8.60. It was $8.60, I think. Right there at that top, that is where I sold. And I actually tweeted out and said I sold. I came back and bought it back here on the bottom. So what I'm saying is the big coins are the things that we can sell. You sell high and you buy low. So in this case, I just increased my EOS. Now I'm riding it up again. And it's going to go upwards to this level, maybe touching that $8.70 again. So you can potentially make a very nice profit here of approximately, probably about 25, 30% if you still trade EOS. And keep in mind that the 24th, let me just put that line in there, 24, 25, maybe 25, could be the high point. One of the things that you can use this thing called a channel, the parallel channel. Now, if I take this here from the bottom and I move that up more or less there, let's just go. This will actually give you an indicator of what the high points are. Just more or less. It's not always 100% accurate. But then this shows a high point of that figure there of $11. So it won't be impossible to hit this level here of $8.70. If it spikes upwards, it could even go as high as $11.60. For me, that is a little bit too high looking at the EOS. But even have a look at this now. I want you to start looking at patterns. Look at that pattern, up, down, up, down, up, down. What happens next? It's really easy to see. Up, down. See, you just need to have a look at the patterns and you'll figure this out. So there's a probability that it could go as high as this. It could have a lower bump upwards. Let's say something like something maybe to that effect where it only goes that high and then it comes down. Because remember, we're getting to a top and the new cycle must begin. So the new cycle is going to look like this. We're going to go up to a certain point. Now, it's very easy to find the high point of EOS. It's when you look at Bitcoin. When Bitcoin hits that level and Bitcoin starts turning around, what's EOS is going to do? It's going to turn around too. So this is why I say Tarsius is sometimes very difficult, to do these boxes. So let's say if I were to put a box in there, I don't know where that high point is. This can either be there or it can be this second point. It's only going to be one of those two. So we can have two scenarios there. So EOS is a bit of it's a coin that can throw you out so quick, but you can make a lot of money in that too. But nonetheless, if it reaches that top, it's going to come down to around about this level here. Can you see this Python Y-axis moving over here? That's going to be the support. See this Python, that line there? As that moves upwards, there you go. It's going to go right down to that bottom. And then from there, Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen from there, but you can figure it out as well. Okay, let's go into NEO. Now, NEO is one of the coins that if you want to make insane money, guys, I'm telling you this now. I've overheard a call of the bankers. Now, a very good friend of mine told me about this because he invests, he trades for JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So this guy, he's so smart that he doesn't work for them, but they use him as an external consultant, and he trades $1.3 billion in cryptos. Now, remember this, a lot of the financial institutions will say that they're not in the market, they don't trade Bitcoin, but they use consultants to do it. But in general terms, they can say, oh, we're not in the market. I mean, these guys are running all over cryptos. They just want to get into cryptos like mad. Now, this guy he's got the authority to be on the conference calls with JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Digital Assets, and some other company. Now, he sent me the recording. In that recording, the banks were talking about running up NEO to $850. Now, when I look at my algorithm data, before I even knew about their figure of 850, my data showed that we are going to go to $850 in NEO. And I've always said, if there's one coin that you really want to keep, just hold. You can imagine from $13 here, and NEO goes up to $850. Guys, it's crazy money. Okay, so now look at this. NEO still has to go up to this 3B algo and to the Python y-axis. Now, if you want to trade NEO, we believe that NEO is going to go up and hit this first target here of $18.90. Maybe somewhere at this high point, you can sell. Now remember, where does this blue line come from? Back here, look at your top 40 crypto report, the date of 15 October 2018. NEO still has to break that level, so it's lagging behind, but it's going to play catch up. This is why I say you won't be able to catch this spike. You're either in it and you catch the spike, but you won't be able to buy the spike. You will miss it. That's why you need to hold a certain percentage of your cryptos in NEO. Okay, let's quickly get the power PPT. Now, guys, PPT, as I said last week as well, it's a terrible coin. It looks terrible. It looks similar to now like Digibyte. Can you see everything is coming down? And let's go back to Digibyte. Can you see how this short term now is turning very bearish? It's negative. But Digibyte expected to go downwards and then upwards, but PPT, Populous, what's going to happen is here, right here at the bottom, and I think we spoke about this last week, is that we are going to see this turn around, and we are going to see the red turn around, and it's going to look something like this. And then this will also start turning around. Your buy signal on Populous is about there if you want to buy Populous. If you hold Populous now, don't worry, don't sell it because you'll lose too much money. I mean, I bought Populous at higher levels. I think it was around about $5. We bought it, I average costed in, I bought everywhere. You know, I even bought here at the high. So don't worry, you know, I mean, Populous is one of those things that are, it's kind of like, what do you call it? It's just a terrible car, a car that gives you problems. But
A Fiat.
yeah, it's a Fiat or Alfa Romeo. So it keeps dropping, but guys, it's going to come back. And when it turns around, see here at this point here, that car is going to turn into a Mercedes-Benz. And you, well, okay, we don't say that, Terry, just because Mercedes-Benzes give big problems to you. But it's just going to turn around and have a great time. You're going to see PPT go back to $100 and more. So if you own it, don't sell it. Just be patient. You know, sometimes, guys, the most money is made just being patient.
Yeah, Morris, the question was, are you going to discuss XRP a little bit? There were a couple of questions about XRP.
Yeah, let me quickly. Okay, we've got 5 minutes here. Last one, we'll quickly do XRP.
Yeah.
Yeah, XRP is actually a really important one here.
Yeah, no, we're expecting big things from XRP, so I think there's a lot of people watching it.
Yeah, unfortunately with XRP, it's the same confluence that's happening now with Digibyte where it's moving down, but I'll quickly explain that. XRP.
And in between, Marius, are you still positive on Stellar and Cardano? You
Oh,
don't have to
absolutely.
show the chart.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
perfect. Yeah. There's no risk on any coins here, but there are two bad coins. Three, basically. The three bad coins, in my opinion, could be XRP, but it's definitely Digibyte and Populous. But let's quickly have a look here at XRP. XRP is not doing what we wanted to do. But let's quickly, let me see if I can just put all these factors in. See now, there's the Python axis. It's pointing perfectly. It's really good. I don't like this one here. See this one here, the 3B algo moving downwards. That's not a good sign for me. Now, that one is moving up. That's good. Sorry, I actually had XRP on earlier, but I don't know what happened with it. Now, one of the good things here is that we have got this cross here. That's excellent to see. We want to see that cross. But my problem here with XRP, and I haven't got the algorithm data up here now. Sorry, I totally forgot about this. My problem here with XRP, I see us moving maximum up to this line here. Now, I want to focus your attention here to, I'll see if I can do this quickly here. Have a look at this fractal here. I'm going to mark all three fractals, and I just want to show you this. Okay, can you see that this one is a mini one? There's actually one before that, which is this one. There are four of them. One, two, see it went up and down. Bigger up and down. Bigger, this one went bigger up and down. There is a probability. Now, let's say if I go here and I take the bars pattern and I copy that bar over, it could be that Digibyte is going, that XRP is going to do this. Now, can you see why I say that could then be the last fifth fractal? Normally it's about 5 fractals and then it ends. So it could be that we are going to see a breakout upwards. Now that, and then it's going to come down. Remember previously that we said that we see a big breakout here? That breakout, Tertius, we don't believe, and I'm sorry to say this, guys, but I mean, we do the best that we can. But from here onwards, we see a breakdown, sideways movement. And then, same with Digibyte, this will actually move first, one of the first coins to break out, and then go up about 3,000%. But this is what we are looking at. Previously, what we said is that this big breakout is going to happen here. I don't believe that is going to happen in this spike out upwards. One of the reasons is, the confluence of these lines are moving downwards too far. If it started moving up a little bit more higher, then I would have been a little bit more positive about this. As a matter of fact, this should have broken out probably around about May, around about June, 4 June. If that happened there, it would have been a better sign for me. But you can see how it struggled actually to break out. But I do expect something similar like this, where these fractals are going to repeat itself. So unfortunately with XRP, once you make your profit there, get out of XRP and move that into either Ethereum or Bitcoin Cash. The spike is going to happen, but I just see it happening a little bit later here, similar to that of Digibyte. Can you see it's similar to this now? When Digibyte started turning around, and in the last week, XRP started turning around as well. You see, guys, this is one of the things why you need to be aware of this every single week. Anything can change. Like, the confluence of this 3B algorithm coming down is crazy. XRP, believe it or not, is one of the most heavily manipulated cryptos. Heavily manipulated. Think about this, the banks need to buy XRP. They're trying to get as much XRP as they can because they use it in a transaction. A little bit of XRP will be used when they transact. So they will burn. They kind of burn all their XRP. Now, the banks don't want to buy XRP at $3 or $10. They want to buy it as cheap as possible. But there's a breakout coming here. The banks won't be able to stop this. And that uptrend there is going to go up thousands of %. And then it's going to go up really quick. And then XRP is going to drop like a rock. And we will tell you at that point when to get out. But for the time being, we see around about this percentage gain. It's unfortunately not a big percentage gain. I have got a lot invested in XRP, but for me personally, we see it moving upwards. If it moves up this 30, 40, 50%, it's still a huge gain. Don't look at that as a small gain. You know, if it moves up, and let's say even if it touches this Python y-axis, remember this one here, of about 33%, I will actually sell and get out of the market. Then I won't get back into XRP unless I see positive confluence here. One of the positive confluence is this cross here, but it's going to take a bit of time for that to play out. We do see a drop, more or less what you see on your screen here, something like that.
Marius, our time is running out. You've got a couple of minutes left and you've got to get onto your next call. Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, very informative session.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Have a fantastic day. We'll upload these videos as quick as possible. Thank you, Tertius. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Martin, for being online there too from Holland. Talk to you guys soon.
Fantastic. Thanks, Marius. God bless.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.